What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news, and this actually comes in the form of a series of tweets from Joe Blackburn at Bungie, who dives in to talk about Bungie's plans for PvP moving forward in Destiny. There are a few pretty interesting things to touch on in this one. He speaks about their plans to bring new Crucible maps into the game, and that'll be happening over the next few seasons, but also, he talks about the fact that they're looking at bringing Rift back as a game mode, as well as multiple other brand new game modes for 2022. Plus we got a couple of other teasers and bits of clarification from community managers, so we're going to break it down in the video guys. As always, I hope you enjoy this one, but now let's get into it. Before we talk about Crucible stuff, very briefly, some folks were asking about Vex Mythoclast and whether we get more chances of the weapon dropping following the update that Bungie did to VOG last week. And DMG confirmed that we've got 3 chances per week for the exotic to drop. Doesn't matter if we play normal, master, or a mix of the two, you have 3 chances per week. So the first VOG clear on each character essentially is where you get the chance at that Mythoclast. Worth clarifying that, but also, Cosmo says, make sure you read through the update from Mr. Blackburn on our future PvP plans. Over the next few weeks, our twabs will be diving into upcoming changes to the Sandbox for Season 15. First up, we've got abilities tuning. See you tomorrow for the F5. And DMG had been teasing that that's going to be a fairly significant twab, so definitely getting some Season 15 Sandbox stuff tomorrow, and I'll keep you posted when it drops. But now, speaking about the Crucible stuff that Joe Blackburn's been talking about, and he said, ahead of the showcase this month, I wanted to take a little time to talk about Destiny PvP. Competitive modes are part of what makes this game special. I can't imagine a version of Destiny 2 that doesn't involve getting a sweet new gun and taking it for a spin in the Crucible. This year, the team has spent a lot of our future-facing effort on plushing up the current Crucible experience. You've seen some of this already in stasis balancing, reputation updates, and shifting weapon metas. And next season, you'll continue to see this effort with not only changes to 3-peaking, but also what the team has been planning for the revamp of Trials of Osiris. And Bungie had broken down previously a planned change to the whole kind of reward structure for Trials, so that'll be interesting in itself. But it goes on to say we've got to keep our foot on the gas when it comes to revitalizing PvP pursuits and keeping gameplay metas fresh. This isn't something we'll ever be done with, but we know we also have room to grow when it comes to new maps and modes. The first half of 2021, we've been working on the foundation, but now we're spinning up teams on new maps and modes. We believe in this investment, but it's going to take some time before you start seeing the results in-game. The ultimate goal here, though, is consistency. If you play PvP, the team wants you to understand that you'll be getting new maps and modes every year, and that the cadence of those coming out feels predictable. And of course, despite Bungie saying that they had a renewed focus on PvP previously, it has been quite some time since we saw new maps, and especially new game modes. So it's good to hear that they're going to be focusing on introducing those more often. And he says, in order to get predictable, we need to open the faucet again. New maps take time to get right. So to open up for Season 16, the team is working on porting 2 vaulted Destiny 2 maps to be compatible with our engine updates. When we upgraded the engine with Beyond Light, it means that we had to hand port all of the Destiny 2 maps and modes. So, while it may seem from the outside like we're just pushing a button, there is a significant lift from the team to get more of this content back in rotation. And so some of the changes that they actually made to the game in Beyond Light mean that they have to spend extra time bringing back certain maps which haven't been in rotation in D2 for a while. However, next he says that after reprised maps in Season 16, Season 17 will come with a brand new map. There are a bunch of new environments in Destiny 2, and we're excited to start bringing them into the Crucible. And so it is going to be a little while yet, but we are at least going to see a brand new map in Season 17. And then finally, after those 3 maps are added to the rotation in Season 16 and 17, we'll be remastering a Destiny 1 map and bringing it to D2 for the first time in Season 18. All of this effort is going to be done in parallel with the team looking to fund the far future with a predictable roadmap of maps in Lightfall and beyond. So overall, it's sounding fairly positive there. At least when we get beyond Season 15, we'll technically be seeing new maps introduced every season, at least up to Season 18. And then they're saying that the year of Lightfall and the other expansions we're going to get is when that roadmap's really going to be dropping content at a kind of predictable cadence. So that's positive. And now he says maps are just part of the recipe. We know we also need to support modes, and there are 3 main efforts going on behind the scenes. So first, the team is investigating getting Rift in Destiny 2 next year. It's been too long since we dunked on some Guardians. But the Destiny Sandbox is sped up in Destiny 2, so right now, the team is validating that the mode still holds up with our new gameplay. And I know there's been a lot of feedback about getting Rift back into Destiny 2. It was definitely a game mode that I enjoyed in Destiny 1, although it could be a little bit rough solo at times. And then he says, secondly, the team is working on multiple brand new modes for 2022. We're not quite ready to spoil these yet, but we're excited to offer new twists and rules to the ways that you can make shacks proud. And so all being well, we're going to see Rift next year. But for 2022, he says the team is currently working on multiple brand new game modes. And considering we haven't really had any for quite some time in Destiny 2, I think most players are going to see that as a pretty big positive. He does say though at the end that finally, after the dust settles on Trials update in Season 15, we want to look at what other broad systemic improvements the PvP ecosystem needs. We want to provide something on the scale of this Trials rework to players every year. And so for the kind of endgame content that sticks around inside of PvP, they're talking about potentially seeing revamps to that are somewhat significant on a yearly basis. And then he says the tweet thread is turned into a tweet novel, but I wanted to make sure we shed some light on what's going on behind the scenes here. Overall, we're still very interested in growing the amount of Destiny we make every year. It's always risky to talk about what's in the oven, as dates and specifics might change, but it's been a while since we spoke about PvP, and we want players to know that we're working on content for all of those Guardians who like to spend time with shacks and the Red Jacks. And so considering how quiet it really has been on the front of PvP for the past year or so especially, I think PvP focused players, or Guardians in general, who enjoy jumping into PvP, are going to enjoy having more reasons to actually dive in. And so on the cards at the moment, we've got the 3-peaking update, as well as a rework to the kind of Trials reward system that's going to mix up how that feels. Then over the next few seasons, we are going to see at least Reprise maps, but also a brand new map introduced into that rotation, with other game modes hopefully on the way next year. So for now guys, that's what we have to speak about. I think overall it's positive to get some communication. Of course, it's still going to be a little while until we actually get those updates, but having something of a roadmap is certainly an improvement over not knowing whether Bungie are going to continue to kind of update Crucible. So let us know what you think down in the comment section, but if you've enjoyed the video and found it useful, a rating below also really does help us out. I'm very much looking forward to all of the reveals we've got coming up. August 24th is going to be a fairly busy day. As far as we know, we're getting that showcase for the future of the game, presumably with Season 15, but also 16 content, and the launch of Season 15 itself. So it's going to be a pretty lively one, and I will be keeping you posted here on the channel. So if you're new around here, feel free to get subscribed and turn on notifications so I can keep you up to date. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in, guys, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.